Welcome to the Tool Review channel. Today we have a little bit of a different video here for you guys. It is talking about the difference between insulated tools and just your standard comfort grip tools. Now this is a pretty interesting topic that I thought I would make a video on because there are some people out there that think the comfort grip version of a tool is going to be able to offer you protection when it comes to working on anything that is live, and that is not the case. So I thought I would go over that here with you guys on a video today. So obviously, you can see we have quite a few different tools here to showcase the differences between. So we're going to first start off with the screwdrivers that we have here in the front. These are pretty much identical. I believe they're both 1/4 inch blades on them. Obviously one is insulated and the other is not. So this is what your typical screwdriver is going to look like. You know, you're going to have that rubber molded handle on there, the plastic acetate or resin, whatever it is, that encases the blade. And then you obviously have your blade right there as well. And then, you know, you got some warnings here that says it's not insulated, will not protect you against electrical shock. And some people seem to think that this rubber is enough to protect you from some electrical shock, and it is not. I've seen it happen multiple times at work, or someone seems to think that, oh, I can go ahead and use this on a live circuit to do something, just make a quick adjustment, and I won't get shocked. And 9 times out of 10, they end up getting shocked, depending on the voltage. Whereas when you have this guy, is insulated, so it's going to have that orange insulation that encapsulates the metal. This is some sort of plastic that prevents the electricity from passing from the metal to your hand. You're still going to have some warnings on here. Obviously, they're not going to be, you know, if the tool is damaged, it's a warning. If it's damaged, you're going to want to get rid of it. Don't use this as a pry bar, and you know, keep the tool clean because you want that insulation to last for as long as possible. So this is the difference between the insulated screwdrivers. And one thing about the insulated screwdrivers is the insulation pretty much goes almost all the way up to the bit, so that minimizes the amount of electricity that's going to travel. So maybe you accidentally stick your hand out here instead of leaving it on that rubber grip. You stick it out here. You're not going to get shocked because you have quite a bit of insulation protecting you there for the screwdriver. Whereas your standard screwdriver, you put your finger on the shaft and you go and touch something, you're going to get shocked with that. So that's kind of the difference between there. The tools, they relatively do look the same, minus the orange insulation is going to be able to tell you the difference between the tools there. So we'll go ahead and set those off to the side. And again, that also applies for diagonal cutters right here, or your pliers. So we can just bring in all of our pliers right there. So now some people seem to think that this multi-component grip is going to give you some protection against electrical shock, and it will not. Now, these Knipex, these are some older Knipex. They're not, the new stuff for 2022. I've had these for a couple of years now, so things could have changed. But, they don't have anything that has any warning that says, hey, these aren't going to protect you from electrical shock. Don't use these anywhere on live circuits or near live circuits, that nature. Whereas, your insulated tools, they go through some testing to prove that they're going to protect you and to get certified that their claims are true. So these are protect you up to 1,000 volts. So if you're working on something that's live, which you're not really supposed to do, or if you're working around something that has a potential to come live, or you're working on something that's live, but whatever you're working on is not dead, and you're working around other live stuff, and you accidentally tap something or you cut through a live wire, these handles, these multi-component grip handles, or these VDE handles, are thick enough to stop the electricity from going to the end user of the tool. And a lot of the tools made by Knipex do have the year that they were made, so you can judge by how old the tool is. And you have some companies like Klein that have the insulated screwdriver, or have insulated pliers that have that 2-layer handle, where once it starts to wear through and you start to see white, that's kind of your indication like, hey, it's about time to get a new tool. So I just thought I would make a video on this, kind of explaining that, these are meant for working around stuff that's live. They've gone through certifications and testing to ensure that the user of the tool will be protected, whereas, just your standard multi-component grip tool is not going to protect you. You go ahead and cut something live through it, any pair of plier, you go and cut through something live with it, you're going to most likely destroy the plier. But with these, you're most likely going to end up feeling whatever you cut through or accidentally tap with your plier. Whereas these, it's going to offer you some protection up to 1,000 volts. And I do believe that they tested up to 10,000 volts, but they're rated for 1,000 volts. It's just, what they rate them for. And, the insulated tools are almost always going to be a different color than your standard tools. The insulation on them is going to be a lot thicker than, just your standard comfort grip tools. And you're going to want to keep them clean, dry. And you don't want to take care of them because they're a lot more expensive than, just your standard pair of pliers, and even your dip pliers aren't even nowhere close to the price that these cost, depending on where you get them from. A basic insulated screwdriver can cost, $30, where you can pretty much buy a screwdriver set for, $30 or less. Same thing with a pair of pliers. They're going to cost, a significant amount more than just, the standard pair of pliers. But there's a reason behind that, because, they had to pay to have the tool tested to say, hey, this tool will protect you against, up to 1,000 volts. So you're going to have to pay for that, and, they got to pass that testing and those certifications on to the user of the tool. So that's, that's kind of about the difference between, just, your insulated tools and your standard tools with these, thick rubber or the comfort grip style handles. Figured I'd make this video to kind of explain that to you guys out there, because, there are some people in the trades that seem to think that they can go ahead and, work on something live with just, a standard screwdriver. Nothing's going to happen. And, they end up learning the hard way that that's not true. But with that being said, that's all I have for this video. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. But that's all I have. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video to be uploaded.